All right. From my WhatsApp group, I got a couple of young Indian men who, asked me, "Sir, can you put up a video giving us some tips or advice or guidance? For since 2025 is coming out, and they want to succeed in life. They want to earn more money. They want a better position. Many of them want to migrate." So I said, okay, fine, I'll make a video. And this video is dedicated for people who want to learn, grow, and improve. Okay. So, as usual, these are videos that you should listen to first, but then after that, take down notes. Okay. And I'm doing it honestly, I'm doing it just to give you guys something of value. Yeah, okay. Because I I was exactly like you. I didn't have mother, father to guide me. Teachers were anyway bullshit. Society didn't carry them. And at least you have Google. You can search YouTube's, watch, listen to podcasts and all. We didn't have all this. In fact, I didn't even have access to books. Okay, so you're far more better. All right. So because I started my journey like you, I understand where you're coming from. Okay. But the first thing that I want to tell you that you must keep in mind is you cannot continue playing the victim card, or you cannot keep blaming others. So many of you blame, oh, my father was like this, my mother was like this, my parents never gave me good upbringing, India is like this, the society is like this, they are gossipy. Stop being a reactive individual. Stop being like a victim. Yeah, agreed. Your father must have been a jackass. Your mother must have been totally ignorant. Your relatives must be toxic. Your work environment must be, the worst hell on earth. India must be one of the worst places according to you. Okay, but then you're giving power to other people. Take charge, right? In fact, I find it sometimes so shocking when I get someone who's 50 years old or 60 years old, and the person blames, my mother, father. Oh, I'm feeling her like crying. They abused me, and what? Grow the fuck up, man. You're bloody 60, or they are no longer alive, or even if they are alive, after 18, you should stop giving bloody excuses. Take charge of your life. Grow a pair of balls, like they say. Okay. So the first one is that mentality. Stop having that victim mentality. Stop blaming others. Shit is always there. People will always, people, losers, toxic, and all this will exist. You just do your shit. Okay, take charge. I want you to get fed up and take charge. That's how I changed. And the second one is you're asking for improvement and all that, which I appreciate much better than, sitting and moaning and groaning. But remember, I I'm self-taught. I taught myself in an era where there was no YouTube, podcast, MP3s, nothing, DVDs, nothing was there. I told you, not even books. Books also I had to get. So I didn't let that discourage me. I still worked hard until books I started to get access. And sometimes, imagine when books also was not there, as to ask people who are far more accomplished than me. You can ask your senior manager whom you admire, or your CEO. You can ask them. They are not, if you, but you need to script it down, and you need to plan out how you're going to ask them. Don't go, sir, CEO, sir, I want to ask you advice. Sir, what tips can you give me to succeed? That's a stupid question. So use your common sense to know what question to ask and how to ask. Okay, there is a art form in asking questions. Trust me when I say this. Take this seriously. This sentence. There is an art form of asking questions, and the person who knows how to ask a question in a very intelligent, empathetic, sensible way, it will really make the difference. Because people like me, or people who are rich, or people who are successful, or people who are powerful, they are inundated with requests. They are fed up, they are busy. So even if you get 10 seconds, make the 10 seconds count with a worthwhile question. Okay. So, the first tip that I'll give you guys is understand that if you um, don't want to earn Indian salaries, you don't want to live an Indian life, you don't want to be in India. Okay, there's nothing wrong about it, but I'm talking about if you don't, you want a better life. I'm not saying Canada is better. Canada is worse off than India. UK is also worse off than India. So I'm talking of you want to improve your current situation. You need to follow global standards. Okay, and you need to evaluate yourself through global standards. Like, for example, I'll give a very simple thing. Take your photograph, not with no touch up, no filters, no nothing. Normal photograph, a normal photograph. Put it on your computer, this thing, full, head to toe. And then take a James Bond photograph. Like, you can Google search. And ask yourself, what is the difference between this guy, you, your photo, and James Bond? Look at every detail. Okay, dress. How does he dress? How do you dress? His style versus your style. The way he talks versus the way you talk. The way he behaves in front of women, the way you behave in front of women. I'm just giving an example. I'm not saying become like a James. I'm giving you a simple basic exercise to start your journey for improvement because I did this. This is how I used to do. Okay, how does he dress? How do I dress? How does his hairstyle? How is it? How is mine? I know, obviously, say then where the tattoos come, that's a different thing altogether. Okay, so that is how, because remember, you'll always be compared to other people. So, since people do it by default, you do it. When you eat something, oh, it is more spicy, less spicy. Less spicy compared to what? Oh, it's more expensive compared to what? Oh, she is not as beautiful as what? We do it with everyone. Oh, she's fat, he's ugly, he's this, he's rich, he's success. We are judging people. We do it all the way. So you'll also be judged and you'll be compared. So compare yourself to the best. And I'm not saying go buy a three-piece suit, go buy an Aston Martin, go put an Omega watch like James Bond. No. Take one step that will make you better than where you are. Just one step. And every day, if you take that one step and you're consistent and you improve, start with the simple, most simple basic thing. Your face, no? Face. Is it oily? Do you have pimples? Do you take care of your beard? Do you trim it nicely? Do you go to a barber? Your mouth, does it smell or stink? Do you eat onions and garlic and curry and all that? Like, look at your face. Take a close up. Do you think this, compare it to some like Shah Rukh Khan, Akshay, John Abraham? Obviously, you'll not look as good as them, which is a fact. But then ask yourself, what can I do to move one step to be better? One step from where you are. And even if you go, let's say you never had a haircut, your hair is all disheveled. Even if you go for a haircut and put it like a nice military short hair, trim, that is excellent progress. That's all that is needed, one step at a time. So you start with your looks. First is always the looks, because remember the eyes. The eyes always judging first. How do you look? Your face, your beard, your ears, your hair. Do you have a properly trimmed this thing? Do you have your carpet of gorilla hair coming from your chest? Or do you have carpet hair here and all that? Okay? And how do you dress? I'm not asking you to buy an Armani or whatever. I'm not asking you to buy a brand. Simple, clean, white shirt. This is what one very wise Indian man told me. White shirt, dark tie, dark trousers, dark socks, black shoes. And that man, he has a rags to riches story. If you want to know, I can speak to him. His name is Deva Gowda. I can make a video if you're interested about him. And I follow that advice. What a difference it made. And if you're buying a suit, don't wear a suit that looks like you took your dad's suit and you're wearing. Sometimes our Indians do that. They'll take a overly loose suit, which this thing comes all the way till here, and people can make out it's super loose. I used to go to Raymond's to get a body fit shirt, and not tight, like it should look nice stitched. If you can't afford it, don't worry, but at least get something nice. And please be hygienic. If you have a nice outfit and you have wet armpits, that is unforgivable. And you'll be like, how can I stop and shave that pubic hair, whatever grows? Okay, put a deo roll on, put powder, and then these white banyans that are there, no? White ones. You put one on top, whole body. They should be powdered, so that powder absorbs the sweat and the smell. Put a shirt, and on top of that, put your whatever you have to wear. Yes, you can't beat the humidity if you're traveling for 2 hours in the heat. Yes, I understand all that. And take an extra spare shirt if needs be, nicely covered, like you're taking a suit, and keep it in the office, or two, three suits in the office that you can use for emergency. Have a nice little bag. I don't have it here. It's like with toiletries. Keep that emergency. An aftershave, a toothpaste, a toothbrush. I know this might sound like, huh? Yes, you need to have all this. So that anytime you need to use it, let's say your mouth is smelling, mouthwash or toothbrush. Anytime you need to comb your hair, anytime you need to change a shirt, there is emergency. See, that kind of proactive future planning is required for someone who wants to succeed. Then obviously, your smell, I told you, personal hygiene is important. Um, and if you're traveling and there are dust and sand and oil, use wet wipes. It doesn't cost you much. And a nice tissue. Maybe there are some hotels you can go with soap and this thing just wash nicely. There are solutions. The next one is, how you sound. And for how you sound, just imagine, I'll give you an example. Think of a very big bodybuilder, very big, huge guy, but he has a voice of a shrill, like a chipmunk, like a girl. It'll be very funny. Or imagine a beautiful girl, petite, small, but she has a very coarse voice. So it'll be disgusting, right? In the same way, how do you sound? You need to know how do you sound. For that, you need to record and listen to it. And the second part is, what do you say? What do you say when you communicate? I've spoken about this in my previous videos. When you meet someone, hi, my name is Rahul from so and so. Okay, so what? Something great? Oh, I work for HDFC. Okay, so what do you say that would make you memorable? And this is something I teach my clients. This is too complex, so I can't give you too many details. It'll maybe be an 8-hour video. To summarize this point, I would just say, write down word for word what you're going to say when you meet people. If you meet a CEO, if you meet a businessman, if you're given only 30 seconds to introduce yourself, or 3 minutes, or you have to get into a conversation, how do you make the conversation interesting? What do you talk about? What are the key points? How do you make that person talk? All this has to be planned out. I used to do this. Write it down, because who's there to teach me? And that time I was not rich, I was not successful, I was nothing, I was a nobody. How can I make people like me? That is important. So practice the art of the written communication. Don't use ChatGPT, don't use any Grammarly, nothing. You write, take a paper and pen and write it down. So your whole focus is there. It's old fashioned, but it's disciplined. And when you write it down and you can see it, then transfer it to Google Docs. That is how you learn. Then another thing which I will tell all our Indians, especially youngsters. See, I know maturity is something that comes with time. I know that you can't fake it. Now, even if you fake it, people can see through it. So I want you to take this line and take it to heart. Think, act, and behave like a leader. Okay. Now you'll be like, but I'm not like that. I understand. In school, for example, in school, let's say you're one of the backbenchers, you like to make noise and you like to have fun, and you like to be like the typical Tapori type, and there is the head boy who's studious, who studies well, dresses up well, does exercise well. So obviously you're not him. And if you try to be him, maybe you'll be miserable. Okay. But you see, in the real world, if you hang around with a bunch of losers who are backbenchers, the Tapori type, the ones who are the dumb fucks, you can never be the person who will get a promotion, who will be given responsibility, who will be given a salary increment, who will be given a career growth. So the first thing what need to do is get rid of your friends who are a bunch of losers. Stay away from your toxic relatives. Even if required, stay away from your parents if they are giving you others. Stay somewhere else. Stay alone. Create a new group that will nurture you because we become like our friends. So who do you surround yourself with? And if you have no one, some of them say no one, fine. If you have no one, go online, think these are your friends, and you don't need to have a best friend to sit down and drink and cold drink or smoke a shisha. Hang around with the senior managers of your company. See, figure out some way. You can't say, no, sir, why will they take me? I can't, breastfeed you like a baby, put spoon in your mouth. You figure out a fucking way, man. With my tattoos, with no money, being on the streets, do you think I ask someone, sir, how can I do it? No, figure out a fucking way, nah. You figure out a way. Use your willpower, use your common sense. You have hands, you have legs, you have two eyes. Think, And once you hang around with these people, you'll change. And remember, who you surround yourself will make you, influence you, and you'll be branded that way. So you hang around a bunch of idiots, you'll be classified as one, even if you're not. So just like the rank holder or the top peak performer, spend time. Then the next one is last. I'll give you just two, three more points. Every single day, be obsessed about your brand. Every single day. Everything from how you look, how you dress, how you behave, what you're listening to, what you're reading, what are you thinking, what are you writing, who you're communicating to. Be obsessed because nobody will be obsessed about your brand more than you. That's one. Second point is always ask yourself, always, how do I stand out from my competition? If a guy has the same education you have, does the same work you do, works in the same company or same line of work or same industry, and all of you are getting the same salary, how can I stand out from them? How can I be noticed? And how can I prove myself? You always have a competitor. Okay? That's the only way you're going to grow. And last but not the least, final one. What is the one thing, one skill that you're known for? Me, personal branding. You, what? Simple, no? I, personal branding. Even though I have 20 other things I'm good at, personal branding. That's it. What about you? Are you going to say network, what? IT network. So it's only you, IT network. Then you say personal branding, Lloyd, there are many. Yeah, that's where it comes to target market. 30 to 40-year-old Indians based in the Middle East, okay, or based NRIs, Canada, US, whatever. That's it. 30 to 40-year-old. Do you see how specific I got? Okay, you're an IT administrator. For what? Get down specific, more specific, even more specific, till there's no way to have any doubts. And then learn, study, research, get mentored, get trained, get qualified only in that area and become so bloody good, so good that when they take your name, they identify that. And we live in a day and age of social media. See how you can use social media to communicate this expertise to the world by offering them value so that you stand out. Like I'm giving this video for free, right? You're paying me anything? No. You think your views are paying me? No, nothing, jack shit. I get $1 maybe for maybe 1,000 views. I don't give a fuck about the views. But I constantly give value, and that is why I'm respected. I have around 8,500 videos. Why do you think people respect me? I've proved my worth. Have you? Have you put out 8,000 or whatever articles? No. Have you put out 8,000 videos? No. Have you put out 8,000? Have you given 8,000 lectures? Have you mentored 8,000 people? No. Then why should anyone look at you, give you even an iota? You say, oh, but I'm just starting. Then start, no? See, I admire your intensity, focus, drive to want to improve and have a better life. But it's not going to be handed to you on a platter. Intention means nothing, action means everything. And it's only results that matter. All right. So, you guys wanted something of value for 2025. Take this advice to heart. It's very serious. It's not a joke. Apply. And as a bonus, I'll tell you, always make sure your resume, your online profile, and your written material about you is always updated every single month, whatever, or every 6 months or every year. And always be on the lookout for opportunities, because opportunities will not come searching for you. You have to go search for them. All right? Put yourself out there. That's how I'm noticed. And that's the only way you'll get noticed. Okay? Good, bad, ugly. Feel free, comment down below. If you have any questions, love to hear from you. You guys take care.